Hello there, all you strange and interesting creatures of the internet. Welcome back to the All Seasons on F1 2019. As you can see, the Hookster, after just one round of the championship, is currently in 12th position in the Williams. In 18th place, his teammate is George Russell. Let's have a look at some interview transcripts now. As you can see, we got Devon Butler, and he's talking about the Hookster. Claire says you've had experience with Dave Hook's fast, aggressive style. Yes, well, Emski's had a bit of experience with that as well, haven't you, Emski? Anyway, let's move on from that to Marcus Weber, I think it is. Marcus Weber, let's see what he's saying. Claire says, that was a good race for Dave Hook. Are you pleased to see them doing well? And Weber says, what kind of ex-teammate would I be if I wasn't? Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, indeed. Anyway, let's have a look at the vehicle performance comparison chart. And as you can see, we are still right at the bottom. Yes, right at the bottom. So we're going to bolt some more parts onto the car to hopefully get us a little bit more performance, because at the moment, it's bloody awful. Bloody awful indeed. Anyway, before we move on, we've got one of those checkpoint challenges, and George Russell is attending. So let's see if we can beat George Russell. We're in the gorgeous 2008 McLaren. Yes, the Vodafone McLaren. What a beautiful car that was in 2008. And we're just about to run out of our checkpoint time, but I think we have done it. Yes, we have achieved our objective, but have we beat George Russell? So there you go. The time has now run out. Fantastic. So we passed our challenge, but did we beat George Russell? I don't know if we did or not. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. And cock. No, we didn't beat George Russell. Anyway, moving on. As you can also see now, some of our developments have failed as well. Look at this. In fact, the whole of our development package has failed from Williams. Oh dear. Oh dear. So we've got to restart it all. This is not good for our championship campaign, I have to say. Not good at all. Anyway, let's move on to quali.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us, and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly.
So here we are then, underneath the gorgeous floodlights of Bahrain. Yes. And they were redone for 2019 with better graphics, so you can see that the way the sort of lights off, the floodlights, are really sort of special for this game in 2019. Fantastic. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. First, a run for the Hookster. Let's have a look. Weber's currently got pole position. Hookster crosses the line in 4th place, almost 2 seconds though behind Weber at the moment. Anyway, a little bit later to qualifying, you can see just 5 minutes to go, and unfortunately, yes, as predicted, we're in 20th place. George Russell is in 18th place, but we are half a second up on our delta time, so we may be able to improve on this. Yes, we do, up into 16th place now. Fantastic. And I think we've beaten George Russell as we accelerate forward now to the end of qualifying. The checkered flag has come out, and we are still ahead of George Russell. 18th position for us, 19th for George Russell. Wowzers. So there you go then. Looks like we're not going to be starting at the back. No, 18th position for the race. Fantastic. So there you go then. 18th for us, 19th for George Russell, 20th for Lance Stroll. Okay then, let's do this.
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1 of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about the captain. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience, but some of these guys in Formula One have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, We have Leclerc, Vettel, Alexander Albon, and Faber, Verstappen, Grosjean, Perez, and Devon Butler, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen, and Norris, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Daniel Kvyat, and the captain, Russell, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, so it's time once again for the 5 lights to go out on the all-seasons career mode, and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes. Well, great start once again for Nookster. 18th position, he's got Daniel Kvyat just off the left-hand side of him. We've got Ricciardo directly in front. They're weaving about all over the place as we go to turn 1, and look at this, it's a dive bomb from Nookster. Oh, making contact there with Maxie Verstappen, still making contact with 3 abreast. In fact, into turn 2, as you can see, we've got Sergio Perez as well, just off to the left of us in that Force India, trying to get past Perez. What about Grosjean? Yes, we go for Grosjean as well. Down the inside, do we get past? Yes, we bloody well do. Wow, it's another fantastic performance from the guy that never gives up and he never surrenders. Don't you know, don't you know. He's up into 7th position now, already for Hookster, and he's chasing Mark Webber. Mark Webber, is it? No, it's Lucas Webber. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, yeah, Lucas Webber, that's the one who's currently ahead of us, and of course our F2 teammate for the previous season. Yeah, so we've got to see if we can get past him. He's in the Alfa Romeo, and unfortunately it's doing a lot better than this Williams is at the moment. But we will persevere and see if we can get past Webber. As you can see, just coming around the corner now, still chasing Webber. He's got Vettel in front of him. We've got Sergio Perez still behind us, and of course the Force India Racing Point. I can't remember which year it was when they swapped over, so I'm just going to call them both names because I really can't remember. Anyway, so we're about to complete lap 1 of this very exciting Grand Prix already, as Hookster's gone up from 18th place up into 7th, so we're in the World Championship points, which is great news for this Williams, because it's an absolute potato. Yes, an absolute bloody potato, it really is. 2019 was the year when Williams really took a nosedive, and this is quite possibly the worst performing car on the track as we accelerate forward to lap 2. Still chasing Webber. Look at this, Sergio Perez jumps over the curb into turn 1 to try and get past him, but Hookster holds on to his line superbly, and more important than that, holds on to this 7th position on the 2nd lap of the Grand Prix. We accelerate forward now, still on lap 2, just going past the pits. The DRS has now been enabled, and off to the right hand side we have got Maxie Verstappen, who's trying to get the jump on us, but look at this, I think we're going to... Oh, Maxie jumps over the curb, and that gives us the opportunity to dive down inside and retake the position, so stay in 7th place on lap 3 and still chasing Webber. We accelerate forward to lap 5, still in 7th place for Hookster. 3 seconds now behind Webber, and we've got real pressure now from Maxie Verstappen. He's trying to sneak round the outside of us. He's going to be contact. Oh, there is contact with Maxie Boy. Oh no, and Max goes round. Maxie Verstappen goes round. You can see him in the background there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yellow flag has come out. What about the safety car? Any safety car? No safety car. So we continue on. Nothing from the stewards either. So it looks like it was just a racing incident. Just got a little bit too close together there between Hookster and Maxie Boy. We accelerate forward to lap 6. So Hookster's coming in for his one and only pit stop, changing from the super soft tyre onto the soft tyre for the rest of the stint. Lots of cars are coming in behind Hookster as well. In fact, lots of teams out. So hopefully we don't get held in the pits as we now come in for our stop. Thank you, lads. The lads changed onto the yellow sidewall car. We rejoin at the moment in 13th position, still behind Webber, as you can see. We've got cars changing positions behind us. We've got cars going past us. Actually, we rejoin the field, so we're down to 14th position at the moment for the Hookster at the gorgeous Bahrain circuit. Wowzers, me trousers. Anyway, so there you go then. 14th place for us. We're chasing Lance Stroll in the racing point. Roman Grosjean is the car behind us as we accelerate forward down to lap 7. We have managed to catch up to the back of Lance Stroll in the Force India. Let's see if we can get the move done on Lance Stroll. Getting very close to the back end gearbox of Lance Stroll. But I think now Hookster is going to have enough power in this Williams car, as his teammate George Russell has now come in for his pit stop. But look, he dives down the inside of Lance Stroll. Oh, beautiful move there, Hookster. But Lance Stroll is fighting back. Look at this, going around the outside of the Hookster, but he backs off out of that manoeuvre, and he holds on still to 13th place, as you can see. Well, he actually backed off because he was going into the pits. So we go past the pits, there's cars come in. So yes, indeedy, Mr. McGreevy on lap 8 we have gone back into 7th position, just behind Alexander Albon, of course, who is rejoining Williams for 2022 as we accelerate forward now to lap 10, still falling from 7th place with Hookster, but he's now 7 seconds behind Alexander Albon. Sergio Perez is still behind in 8th place as we accelerate forward down to lap 12. No position of changes for Hookster, still in 7th place, but Albon has pulled out a little bit of a gap now, 11 seconds ahead of Hookster. Sergio Perez still the car chasing behind in 8th place as we accelerate forward now, still on lap 12. And Perez, oh no! Sebastian Vettel is out of the session. Sebastian Vettel is out. Just looking at the mini-map, we can just see him there, pulled off to the left-hand side of the circuit. So we might go to a replay in a minute to see exactly what happened to Sebastian Vettel. But Sergio Perez is trying to sneak down the outside of us, but I think we're just about to pass Sebastian Vettel. Yes, there he's off to the left-hand side in the Ferrari car. Yellow flags are out, of course, on the circuit at the moment. Now the greens are out, so it's time to say go, go, go once more. So let's go to a replay and see exactly what happened to Sebastian Vettel. Are we going to have an engine failure? No. In actual fact, nothing from Sebastian. No smoke at the back or anything. So yes, just looks like some kind of mechanical failure. Maybe the gearbox failed. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to the last dying moments of the Grand Prix. Still holding on to... no, actually we've moved up, haven't we? Because Vettel has gone out of the Grand Prix, so we've moved up into 6th place now for Hookster, just behind Webber and just ahead of Sergio Perez. So this is a fantastic result in our underperforming Williams, it has to be said, and we're about to cross the line in 6th position if we can just fend off Perez long enough, and we do.
Okay,
oh my god.
Rubber and bring it home.
Well done, Hookster, in the Williams. An absolute potato of a car. Yes, absolutely. And there is the clown man himself, Benicio Senatorio Spaghettio Buongiorno mio Deo. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, there's Charles Leclerc, who actually won the race. He won the race in a Ferrari. Well done, Charles Leclerc. Yes, I don't really rate him, to be honest. No, don't really rate him. But well done for winning in the virtual world and getting out of his car. Now Sergio Perez, who finished in 7th place, of course, just behind the Hookster.
Here come our winners now.
So on to the podium now. There they are. There's Charles Leclerc. There's little Lulu, who finished in 2nd position, and in 3rd place it's Valtteri Bottas as Charles holds up the trophy. Go on, Charles. Hold it up high. Yes, it's time for the champagne now to go over everyone. Go on, Charlie boy. That's it. Go on, get it in Lewis's eye. Get it in there, boy. Get it in there. Fantastic. So let's go to the scores and the doors now after 2 rounds of this championship.
So there you go, in 6th place for Hookster,
only 17th place for George Russell and Sebastian Vettel.
Who would you pick as your driver of the
race?
I have to give it
so
to
let's
the
have a look at the championship standings now, and we're in 8th place with those 8 World Championship points, 37 points behind the leader, which is currently Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc in 2nd place, Valtteri Bottas in 3rd, Alexander Albon in 4th position, and Sebastian Vettel in 5th place. And we are way ahead of Devon Butler, as you can see, who's only in 18th place. And of course our own teammate, George Russell. Well done, Hookster. Well done indeed. Okay then, it's time to move on to the next Grand Prix. But before we do that, it's time to select a rival. We've got a choice of Lucas Webber, Devon Butler, or Daniel Kvyat. Which one shall we pick? Devon Butler, Lucas Webber, Daniel Kvyat. Which one? Which one should we pick, lads? Which one should we pick? Webber, Butler, Webber, Butler, Webber. But no, we're going to go with Devon Butler. Yes, Devon Butler. Let's see if we can beat old Devon Butler. So as you can see now, our developments have now been completed, apart from the weight reduction, which has still failed. But the rest of them have now been completed, and we can move on to the next Grand Prix. As you can see, the weather, it's going to be a wet race for the start and then dry up. Wowzers.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session.
So here we are then for the Chinese Grand Prix. And you can also see that Sebastian Vettel is holding us a little bit up as we're about to do the first qualifying run at the moment. And we finish in 3rd place now, 2.7 seconds behind the leaders. A little bit later into qualifying, you can see, well, quite predictably, we're down to 18th place, and we are behind Devon Butler, who's our new rival, of course, for this championship. So we've got to see if we can beat Butler, but unfortunately our delta is down, so we're not going to. Hamilton currently has pole position, at the moment. We accelerate forward now to the end of qualifying. You can see we're just trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo. This could get dicey. Come on, Daniel, come on. We're up on our delta time. Oh, we've lost a little bit of time there, a little bit of time. And Butler's still ahead of us, but oh no, Daniel Ricciardo had another go at us. We go a little bit wide, almost managed to cross it up there, but we cross the line, and yes, 16th place. Wow, it could have been a lot better though if we hadn't got held up by Daniel Ricciardo. Anyway, there you go then. Butler has actually beaten us. He's in 16th place. We've dropped down to 17th place now as we cross the line for the end of qualifying. I think we have beaten George Russell though, so we should be okay. We should be okay. Fantastic. Let's have a look then. And yes, Butler beat us, but George Russell only finished in last place. Oh dear, let's do this.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Alexander Albon, and Hülkenberg, Perez, Magnussen, Norris and Kimi Raikkonen. Weber, Bottas, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Lance Stroll and Kvyat, Sainz, Butler, the captain, and Roman Grosjean. Ricciardo and George Russell ends our grid lineup, and with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So once again then, it's time for the 5 lights to go out on the all-seasons career mode, and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes. Of course, no rocket ship start from the line because we are under intermediate conditions, and it's very, very wet indeed. The spray is everywhere, you can't see where you're going. So we're going to turn 1, oh, what is Hookster going to do? We've got Grosjean doing a dive bomb off to the right-hand side, and the Hookster's going to, oh, he's going to go around a huge amount of cars around the outside. This is unbelievable, Seeds. Look at this. The Hookster has found his dry line, and he's managed to get through okay, up into 11th place at the moment for Hookster. That was a fantastic move there behind Kimi Raikkonen now in the Alpha. Let's see if we can get past Kimi into the next turn, and be very, very careful. It is very slippery out there, and yes, he does dive bomb down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and I do believe one of the other cars. So yes, he's into the World Championship points, up into 9th position now for the Hookster, still on the first lap of this Grand Prix. Wowzers. It's another fantastic thing for the Hookster. Yes, absolute great driving. Oh, a little bit crossed up there. Hookster a little bit crossed up. He's got to be very, very careful. He's still running a fairly low downforce setup because he wants that extra speed a little bit later into the Grand Prix when it's supposed to dry up. So let's see if he can catch up to the back of Sergio Perez. We've got Lando Norris, and yes, he sneaks down the inside of Perez. A little bit of contact there, no damage I don't think to Hookster's wing. It looks okay, but Perez is fighting back once again, trying to dive down the inside, nudging Hookster. Look at this, nudging as we go around this very, very long, tight right-hander. Hookster's going a little bit wide there on the exit. And that's given Sergio Perez the opportunity to get past. And we've got Lando Norris going past as well. This is not good. This is not good for Hookster. He's trying to find a position on the circuit. Lando Norris is sort of trying to park in the middle of the apex, but the Hookster just dives down the inside, but he goes very wide on the exit though, very, very wide indeed. And that gives Sergio Perez the opportunity to try and get past us, but I think we're going to dive down the inside of him. Yes, we do. So there you go. We get the place back. That's a great move, in the wet conditions. Great move indeed. So we start lap 2 now, and Sergio Perez once again tries to go around the outside of us as we go into the very, very tight turn 1. But let's see if we can get the jump on him. Hookster's going to see if he can dive down the inside. Is he going to do it? Yes, he does. Little bit of contact, little bit of argy-bargy, little bit of a slap in the tickle with Sergio Perez, but we get through up into 8th position, and we're chasing Kevin Magnussen. As we accelerate forward now to lap 6, yes, lap 6. No real change in the positions, but what there has been a change in is the weather. You can see it is drying up, and race control has enabled the DRS, so now it's time for us to come in and put those dry tyres on. And we are going to put on the softest dry tyre compound that we can. Oh, we've got yellow flags going on. What is going on? I can't quite see. I think one of the cars has got back. But anyway, yes, we're going to put on the driest and the fastest dry tyre that we can put onto the car. Oh, Kimi Raikkonen is out of the session. Kimi is out. We've only got half the race to go, and I'm sure those guys are going to last until the end of the Grand Prix. We want the fastest one to see if we can jump on top of these cars. And Sergio Perez, under the DRS, has now overtaken us, but we managed to dive down the inside. It doesn't really matter because we're just coming in for our pit stop, and of course we don't get held up in the pit. We've got no choice. We've got to come in now, otherwise we're going to lose out horribly. But hopefully we're not going to get held up in this spot. But I can also see that behind us we've got a lot of cars coming in. So this could get very dicey. Look at this, huge amount of cars. They've all got to come in, of course, because we are changing onto a dry compound. There's nothing I can do about this. Let's hope it goes okay. So we're going to change onto the super soft tyre, the red sidewall, which will easily get us to the end of the Grand Prix. We're also taking a little bit of front wing out the front of the car as well, to give us as much speed as we can, see if we can catch up to these cars. We do join the field in 11th place at the moment. 11th position for the Hookster on lap 7 now. Yes, lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Magnussen ahead in 10th, and Lando Norris behind in the McLaren, of course, in 12th place. We accelerate forward out of lap 7, just going past Prix, still holding to 11th place behind the Hookster, but we've got cars in, so hopefully we should now get back into the World Championship points. Yes, we do. Back into 8th place, everyone. Back into 8th position on lap 8, still chasing Kevin Magnussen, but oh my goodness. As we accelerate forward down to lap 9, we've got Valtteri Bottas. We've got the fastest car in Formula 1 in 2019 against the slowest car. And Lando Norris has also gone past us, but we're going to dive down the inside like we always do. Are we going to get past Bottas as well? Oh, we've contact with Bottas, contact. But we managed to get through and hold on to this 8th position on lap 9. That was a little bit dicey than looks there, but he has managed to do it. As we accelerate forward down to lap 11, and this time we got Sergio Perez going around the outside of us, but I'm sure the Hookster's going to have him covered off and go tight to this inside line. Yes, he does. So he holds on to 8th place. Sebastian Vettel is now the car ahead of us in the Ferrari. Sergio Perez, of course, the car behind us in that racing point car on lap 11. Just a few more laps to go now as we accelerate forward now, still on lap 11. Lewis Hamilton puts in a fastest lap, and now Maxie Verstappen does as well. And once again, Sergio Perez storms past us, and we've got another car trying to get past us. I think that was Lucas Weber. I'm sure that was in the Alpha. So let's see if we've got a warning for exceeding track limits. And look at this, Sergio Perez once again is trying to go around the outside of us. We got a warning for a collision with Perez, but we do manage to hang on to this 8th position on lap 11. Very few laps left in the Grand Prix now. Sebastian Vettel still ahead, and he's 12 seconds ahead, so I don't think we're going to make any more ground up on Sebastian Vettel on lap 12 as we accelerate forward down to lap 13. Yes, lap 13, and we've got some yellow flags out on the circuit. Just put them in that. Oh no! Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. As I just said that, we weren't going to clear the 12-point gap to him. Or should I say the 12-second gap to him, but now we are because he is out of the Grand Prix. Under yellow, we're just coming around. You can see on the mini-map there, we're just going to catch up. There he is. There is Sebastian Vettel. He is out of the race again for the second race in succession. He is out. I don't know what's happened there in Sebastian, but there you go. So we now go up into 7th position now, once again, and that is it. The race is over. Lewis Hamilton has won the race, and we can just hold off Sergio Perez, but as I say that, Sergio Perez goes round the outside of us, so we're going to see if once again we can go very tight to the inside. Yes, Gabriel Denver, come on, Hookster. Yes, fantastic. So yes, we are going to finish in 7th place at the Chinese Grand Prix. What another great result, especially from this potato car. He really is pulling as much as he can out of it. Oh, that was close. Did we get overtaken there by the Alpha? No, it's okay. We've still got 7th place. Wowzers. That was very close indeed. So there you go then. More points for the Hookster. And there is Total War of the Terminator. Is your name Sarah Look, just stop it, Toto. Stop it. And there's Lewis Hamilton, who was,
Well, I
of
think it
course,
was
the
clear what
race
the main
winner.
contributing factor out on the track was today: speed.
There's
I
the
know
team
it sounds like
mechanics
an
with
obvious
Alex
thing to say,
Gilliam,
Crofty, but fast
who's an
cars
F1
win
YouTuber,
races, and
in
we
the
saw
background.
that today with our winner.
Yes, I'm sure he sweeps the floor.
So
Sure he
after a
sweeps the floor.
magnificent race,
Anyway,
we can now
on to
see
the
drivers
podium.
making
There
their
they
way
are.
to the
There's
podium.
Lulu.
Once
First
again,
place
it's
for
the
Lulu.
Silver Arrows who
Second
take top
place
spot.
for
A
Charles
well-earned
Leclerc.
victory for Mercedes.
He's doing really well in our 2019 season so far, has to be said. Maxie boy finished in third place. So it's time now to spray that champagne over everyone. Yes, 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 yes. Champagne over everyone. Let's have a look now at those all-important World Championship points. After 3 rounds now of
Top of the
this
table.
2019
Now, let's discuss,
championship.
Ant, who
As
would
you
you
can
say
see,
is a
Lando Norris
contender
finished in
for driver of
17th,
the
George
day?
I
Russell
have
only
to give it
finishing
to
in
the
18th
captain.
place.
They did a great job
and
of getting the
Sebastian
most
Vettel
out of
and
their
Kimi Raikkonen
tyres
didn't
without
even
losing pace.
finish
Something that's a
the
very
race.
handy
So,
skill to
in the
have in
championship
modern-day
standing
Formula
now,
It's time
we
to
are
see
still
how
in
things
8th
are shaping
position
up
with 14
in the
points now. Lewis
Constructors'
Hamilton in
Championship.
front with
Mercedes
70.
continue to
Charles
extend
Leclerc
their
is
lead.
currently in second
Meanwhile,
place with
Renault move up the
53.
table
Alexander
with
Albon
another
is in
strong
third in the Red
performance
Bull
this weekend.
with 32
I'm equal
World
parts
Championship
exhausted
points.
and elated with
Okay,
this weekend
thanks so
of
much for
Formula
watching,
One.
everyone. You've
Be
been
sure to
awesome as
join us
always. And
for
yes,
the
of
next
course,
one.
as always, there will of course be more later.